Hello and welcome to Hikvision. I'm Louise Parsons, one of the BDMs here that covers the South areas. Today, I'm going to be talking about Hikvision's new touchscreen technology access control, one of our new products within that range. I work really closely with the product management team to make sure that we bring you the latest and greatest technologies. I'm going to be running through this technology on a presentation, followed by Daniel Hawkins doing a live demonstration. And then at the end, we're going to be just doing a quick Mentimeter survey and then a prize draw at the very end. During all of this, please do submit any questions that you may have at the bottom of the screen where it says Q&A. You can also see them being answered live as we go along by our lovely Lynn, who looks after access control products with us here at Hikvision. So moving forwards, I'm going to be running through the new product with you on a product overview, some highlights and the product specifications. So firstly, let's just give you a little bit of a background of this range of products. And we call them the MinMoe. That's the name we've given the touchscreen, the touchless access control devices. We have them in every other product in our range on our website in 3 different categories: value, pro and ultra. This enables you to pick which one is best for the application that you have. Now, one thing to stipulate in the MinMoe range is all of these units are actually a controller and reader in one. There is no need for an extra controller. So just in the value range that we've got 2 units in that range, both around a 4-inch size, so they are quite chunky and small, and they go from a 300 to a 1500 users. They're quite smart units, and they'd be great in a small application, probably in office. If you wanted something like 4 or 8 doors, it's quite a simple solution and a little bit gadgety as well. We then move up to the pro range. This does jump up in size to the 7-inch units, which you may recognise that we've had for quite a while now. These do include proximity, IP65 to go outside, and can actually handle up to 6,000 users. We then jump up to the ultra range. Now we use that same unit we had in the pro with the 6,000 users. However, it now jumps to 20,000 users. So it's a much, for a larger system. We then added this new ultra unit. So this is the one we're going to go with today. We call it the 680 and you'll see why in a minute. This one jumps up massively to 100,000 users, 8-inch screen, and we're going to cover a lot of the features in a moment. So an overview of this product. We do 6 parts in this range, and I call it the 680 because you'll probably notice at the top of the screen there you've got 6 part codes. They all start with DS-K1T. So all the MinMoes actually start with that, and it's the next bit, the 680, that actually dictates which one it is. In each of these, we have a with and without fingerprint. So it's whether you want the fingerprint technology in the unit. The first 2 are PoE. So PoE, and you've got the option with or without fingerprint. The next one is Wi-Fi, which you would need to power locally, and again, with or without fingerprint. And then the last one is 3G, 4G, and again, power locally, with or without fingerprint. This new unit has an amazing, outstanding design. Dan's going to show you it later, but you can see it's now an 8-inch, but it's more full screen. And we've even put the card reader behind the screen, so it's not utilising the rest of the unit, making it a very small, sleek design. We've got the multiple communication modes, which covers the Wi-Fi, the PoE, and the 3G, 4G. Now, I did say about the products there, and I've said that you either choose one or the other. You can't have 4G with the PoE. You're choosing which technology you want in your unit, and then selecting that part. We have various authentication modes. So we've got face, proximity, card, fingerprint, and PIN code. Now you choose which of those you want to do for authentication. That's single, dual, or triple authentication. So you could have it on more secure areas where you actually want the face and the proximity to open the door. We have various applications, web management and the HikConnect app, which we're going to cover, and it has a much higher capacity. So whereas before we did a maximum of 20,000 users, we're now on 100,000 users. That's for cards and faces. And we've got 10,000 fingerprints too, if you go for the fingerprint model. We can hold 150 event capacity. Now, that's not the images, that is just the data. If you want to record those images as well, then you would need some sort of recording device on the system. So an NVR or DVR linked to this network, and you'll be able to record those images. Protocols. We've got ISUP5 for remotely dialing into the system and ISAPI for integration. Now, one of the really big things we've got on this unit that's different to all the others we've had is it's got personalized settings, which Dan's going to, again, cover more on later. But whether it's having a screensaver on the unit, so when it's not being used, you could put marketing images, COVID instructions, anything that you'd want to display. Welcome to Hikvision, welcome to your business. We can also change the audio prompt when you're greeted at the terminal. We can change other short keys and the time and attendance display, which I'm going to cover. Now we've covered the summary of the product. What is the system topology? What needs to be on that system? So as you can see in the middle of the screen there, we've got the MinMoe terminal. And as I said before, this unit is your controller and your reader in one. So there is no need for an additional controller. However, I would strongly advise that you have the secure module there on the left. It is optional. However, its function is it sits on the secure side of the door. And if anybody was to vandalize the MinMoe unit, it would mean that the door would remain locked because all the lock relays go into that device. It's pretty inexpensive, so cost effective, so it's worth adding to the system design. You've got the Hike Central software on the topology here, but you could use 4200. And which software you'd want basically is decided by what functions you want on the system, which we can talk to you about when we're putting together a kit list and helping you with that. We've got this system connected up via the PoE switch, and we're showing you that we can link a DVR or NVR into that so you can record your pictures. Now, we can actually link it as an intercom device because it's an intercom and access control, in which you can use one of our indoor stations that we've got in the range. And we have a whole large range of indoor stations that can work with it. We have our new generation 2 indoor workstations, though, indoor monitors, which are actually PoE. So that makes a system really, really simple because you can just put one of those on the network and it will work. So people can call through, visitors can call on the intercom to the indoor station. We've also got a master station. So if you've got a large block of flats, a reception or a security room, you can have main control via the master station on that. As you can see, it's a network device. But if you need any assistance on this, then obviously feel free to talk to us about your design and about what you're wanting to do for your customer. Talking about the design of the unit, you can see here that it's actually only 6 mil thick. So it's very slimline. It's got a 2.5D screen, and that means it's softer and rounded at the edges rather than straight and cornered, giving it a frameless full screen design with that lovely 8-inch screen. There's a couple of really key features within the unit, and one of them is face anti-spoofing. Now, what is that? So people may think they can hold up a picture of someone's face, or they can get their phone out or a tablet and show a picture of someone and gain access. Well, actually, you can't. The MinMoe looks for a 3D person stood there. It looks for dimensions. It's got an algorithm built in the unit to actually do this. So I'm going to play you a video showing you somebody holding up a picture of somebody, and it's not letting them in. They then take the picture away and it opens the door. It's a very key feature just to keep that unit secure. Also, dark environment recognition. This is it showing you in a very dark environment, but with its low light technology, the screen is enhanced and therefore you get an image in really low light environments. So whether it's a dark inside room or whether you're actually external and you've got no lighting, be confident that the unit is still going to work for you. One of the features I don't think is talked about enough, and this is actually on all of the MinMoe units, is time and attendance. This gives you an added value add to your system, allowing you to say checking in and checking out employees. So we've got a screen there of the actual unit, and we've got check in, check out, break in, break out, overtime in and out. Now, the difference with this unit in comparison to the other MinMoes is we can actually customize that layout. So we could say, well, I don't want overtime in and out on the bottom of there. I just want the 4 icons. We can do that. Also, the text that is written by each of those icons, we can actually customize as well. So it's just enhanced. Now, if you're going to use this time and attendance feature, you do need to add one of our softwares, whether that's 4200 or Hike Central. And depending on which one you use, depends on the reports that you can get from the system. However, what you'd be looking at is getting a daily, weekly, maybe monthly report on who's entered the building, who's in the building at any one time, what overtime did they have, what break time did they have. It comes off in a CSV report, so an Excel report. But it just adds an extra value to the system. It's not just an access control or an intercom system anymore. We've offered you something more. If you're utilising the system on its own as standalone, then we've got web management to set the system up, and this can pretty much do everything. So whether you've just got a laptop or a PC, you can control it from that. You can do all your live view, events, capturing, do any searches, logs, search on employees, card names, etc., and edit or add, delete any users, and do any of your configuration settings, whether they are basic or advanced. So you can pretty much set up the whole system just by dialing into the device, making it a really, really simple install for you. The question everybody asks when we get a new technology out is, can we have remote control on the app? Can we see it on Hike Connect? And the answer is yes, we can. So you can see by the image there, we've got the camera coming through so that you can see remotely who stood at the door. You can even open the door, leave the door open or leave it closed. So you have that flexibility. However, this is the really key point. If you want a notification to come through to that app on your phone or tablet, so you want it to ring and notify you that there's somebody pressing the intercom button on the MinMoe terminal, then you actually need to have one of our intercom monitors. And if you use the Gen 2 ones, they are PoE. So you can simply have them on the system, even if it's not being used, as long as it's on the network and on the system, it's that intercom monitor that talks to the Hike Connect and sends a signal to send a notification. So yes, the Hike Connect works as standard, but the person would have to call you and let you know they're there via their mobile or something. Or if you want the notifications, you must have the intercom monitor. You've also got a small event log there, which shows you all the transactions that have happened recently. So whether the door's been unlocked, someone's been through it, but what it won't do is give you that personal information. So it's not going to give you any names of who's gone through. It is just very simple. So yes, it's really simple, but we're still talking to the Hike Connect app. ISUP 5. We had an older version of ISUP previously, but all this means is that we can remotely dial in to all the devices around the world. For instance, if you were an office and you have multiple different offices all around the world in different countries, this just enables the technology to all talk and tunnel together to a main head office for you to view the system. Where would you install this type of technology? Well, I mean, the obvious one probably would be commercial offices, anywhere that wants an access control system. We're giving you facial recognition access control here, like touchless entry with proximity and loads of different features. But whether you're looking for an 8-door system or a 100-door system, we're really flexible on the devices that we've got. Manufacturing, warehouses and distribution have a lot of employees going in every day, or at least they did do. So it's giving them the flexibility to maybe add the time and attendance, something that they may not have already on the system. Education, maybe even healthcare, anywhere that has access control doors. There may be doors on a site that are more critical than others, like a server room door or maternity unit, and they might want dual authentication on there, where we're using 2 different technologies to actually open the door. And we can do that. And that's why we'd be good for data centers too in this environment, because it's highly secure. So we could even use triple authentication. So it's just giving you some ideas of where it can go. But essentially, anywhere that needs access control. It's newer technology. It's intelligent technology. Now, just to summarize what we've talked through, why would you use this particular MinMoe unit, this new 681 that we're going to show you? They're all touchless entry in the range of the MinMoe. However, this one in particular has that 8-inch screen. It's a lot smaller than the rest. Sorry, it's a lot bigger than the rest. And it's got a more slimline design. We've got 100,000 users instead of the 20,000 users. It's got PoE, Wi-Fi and 3G, 4G options, something we've not had before. We can customize the audio messages on the unit. That allows your customer to have more flexibility about how they want to use it and what they want to play. We've got the option for a personalized screensaver. So when the unit is not being used, we could put some sort of marketing on there, or some something, welcome to Hikvision, or welcome to your business. We've got time and attendance features, which gives you more value to the system or the solution that you're offering. QR code. So you could simply hand out a personalized QR code independent to that particular visitor. So when they enter, you can just show them the QR code and it will unlock the door and let them in. Intercom functionality. We've got the intercom functionality with the access control, so you can have visitors coming to the building. We can conceal visual representation of your identity. Now, this is quite a big and new feature that we've never had before. This is where we can actually hide the face looking back at you. So if I walk up to the terminal, it won't show me my face, won't show me my name. It's a setting you have to change in the web management, but it means maybe under GDPR rules, if someone doesn't want that personal information on the screen, we can have it hidden. We've also added DesFire EV2. So we've always had MyFair Classic, MyFair 1 on these units to read the cards. However, we've added DesFire, in particular EV2, because if you want a higher level of encryption, you might be using DesFire technology. So that means if you're using DesFire EV2 technology as access control on the site, those cards could then work on these units and open the door, or use it for the dual authentication. So hopefully that gives you some points, some features that you might like to help you, sell this as a solution as it is, and give you more ideas of where this could fit. So I've covered my part. We're going to move now on to Daniel Hawkins, who's going to do you a live demonstration.
Thank you, Louise, for a great presentation. My name is Dan Hawkins. I'm part of the product pre-sales team. I'd like to start by having a look at the device itself. As Louise has already highlighted, the product has had a redesign. The new Ultra device is a lot slimmer at the top and has a card reader has been moved down to the bottom of the device. There's also a tamper alarm if the device is taken off the wall for a siren. As we've highlighted already, one of the key functions is the read speed and distance of the facial detection terminal. Here, our MinMoe can read mine or any face from less than 1 meter up to 3 meters.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the read range is the same when the eye is engaged or the camera is working in a low light environment, still up to 3 meters. So having previously been registered onto the system via IVMS or Hike Central or the web viewer, I am recognized with glasses and without.
Thank you. Thank you.
System is fast and accurate, providing contactless access. Accuracy and privacy is maintained when trying to spoof the camera with a picture or taken on a phone. And in terms of connectivity, the device is powered using a PoE switch or power over Ethernet connectivity. The devices can also be powered with a 12 to 24 volt power supply. We have an on-screen card reader with DesFire card reading capabilities, and other models in the Ultra series have a built-in 3G or 4G SIM card options. These further the connectivity, and other devices also contain a Wi-Fi option which also enhance that connectivity. The MinMoe supports QR code access. The QR code needs to be created in IVMS or 4200 or Hike Central and then sent to a recipient. After receiving the QR code, push the QR code button on the display and present the QR code.
Thank you.
Access should then be granted. With the visitor call function, we can use this to call the indoor stations. For example, this can enable us to have two-way audio calls with an application and remotely open the door from that application as well. Then on the application, we can answer the door.
Door is open.
And unlock the door. So personalization settings. Using the web browser interface, we have the ability to change the voice prompt, background image and screensaver. In the background, we have changed the welcome message to say welcome to Hikvision. As Louise mentioned earlier, the system can block out the details being shown on screen for the user, protecting any representations of your identity when using the solution. We've also added a screensaver, which will engage once the device is unattended for a few minutes. The screensaver can consist of up to 8 images. You may notice the screensaver will show an image while we are talking. Now, let me try again with my face to make sure that the detail has been hidden and the voice prompt has been changed to "Welcome to Hikvision."
Welcome to Hikvision. Welcome to Hikvision.
So you can see that the detail has been hidden and the voice prompt has been changed. Now, if we quickly go into the menu settings, we can go into the local access control settings and enable the multi-authentication mode. I set it from single to multiple. We can enable or disable the multi-authentication. I will set the system to recognize me with multiple authentication using only face and card. Face and card, okay. While in the menu, I'll also enable the time and attendance settings so that once logged in, you can tick sign in or sign out. It's here where we can personalize the text on those time and attendance buttons, manage your break times and times for logging off. Then at a later date, using either IVMS 4200 or Hike Central, you can pull off the results in either Excel or a CSV format. So I'll log back on, and this time you can see that the multi-authentication card requests first, and then the face recognition. Also, a key point here is to notice the device is "Welcome to Hikvision." This is one of the personalization settings which we can change.
Please continue to authenticate. Welcome to Hikvision.
It's worth pointing out this time that the text for these breaks and sign-in periods are all configurable, so you can rename all the different breaks. Again, this feature is available through the web browser or through IVMS or Hike Central. The last point to cover is the integration for Hike Connect. We have connected the device to Hike Connect, both directly and via an indoor station. If I call the indoor station, you can see the event call in Hike Connect on this iPad.
Please talk.
There we can mute the microphone
Door is open.
and unlock the door. You get a video image and two-way audio.
Voice talking and
You get a video image and two-way audio to be able to communicate with the MinMoe. You can then use the application to unlock the door. You can see from the application you get events logged and an image in the indoor station has been called. Thank you for your time today. This concludes my part of the demonstration. I'd now like to hand back to Louise, who will go through the Menti survey and reveal the prize winners.